Oh, look. Look.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
Good morning, Ditto. It is 10 a.m. and I wanted to check in on Ditto and see how he's doing. He ate all of his food, so he eventually finished the rest of his food. I was looking at the security camera footage and it looked like around like 1 or 2 a.m. he went over and he finished it. And then he pretty much spent the rest of the night here on the floor. And that's where he is now. He did get a lot of good sleep because the camera, which is motion activated, did not record like a million short clips. It only recorded like every half hour or hour or so. So he definitely got some good sleep. Right, Ditto? Would you like some breakfast? You want to eat some food, Ditto? Ditto, want breakfast? Want food? I'm going to put some food together for him. And I'm hoping to be able to spend some more time in this room today, maybe this afternoon. And I'm hoping to sit on the floor with him. So if he's hanging out here under the day sofa, I want to sit on the floor, not far away from him, and just see how that goes. I really wish I had more time to spend in this room with him over the past week, but this time of year, I am just absolutely slammed with things that need to get done. Unfortunately, I'm not retired and can't just take care of cats all day. And taking care of cats is not my occupation. If it was, I would have a lot more time to spend with Ditto and do things. But I am juggling a lot. And it's a very fine balancing act to get everything done. And yeah, most days I don't get everything done just because there's not enough hours in a day, but I also have to keep my health into consideration because it would be very, very easy to burn myself out and just to get exhausted just from doing too much, so I can't do that. I just gave Ditto the first half of his breakfast. So this is a scoop of homemade food, a Stella and Chewy's Duck Goose patty mixed together with some homemade chicken broth. And put the dry herbs in there and a little bit of salmon oil and some B vitamins. So if he eats all that, then he'll get more. Ditto, I gave you food. You can go eat. Do you smell it? Eat your food, Ditto. I'm going to shut off the air conditioning because I could feel it blowing on me. And it blows right on the food. So that could be another factor why he didn't want to eat yesterday. He eventually ate when I turned the air off. So I'm going to do that. It's 11:15 a.m. And I just got back from the supermarket, and I thought I would give Ditto his food under the day sofa because I saw he didn't eat it. But look, he's not here. Look where he is. He's in his round cat bed. So I think that confirms my suspicions that he doesn't like the air conditioning on, and when the air conditioning does go on, he goes into this warm bed because he did that yesterday and he did it again today. So, how you doing, Ditto? You okay? Here he is all cozy in this round bed. Ditto, you have some breakfast. You can eat it. He could still be suffering from a bit of a loss of appetite from the strong ed dewormer that he got yesterday. They say that it lasts in their system about 24 hours. So it should be out of his system by now, but sometimes it could take longer. It's usually just like an average number. All right, Ditto, I'll make sure I don't put any air conditioning on anymore, okay? No air conditioning for you. I know you don't like it. It is 1:35 p.m. and I just came inside because it is like 92 degrees out. It is super hot and humid. And I saw that Ditto moved over here, so that proves my theory correct because there's no air conditioning on in the house right now. And it's only about 80 degrees in this room, so it's actually much cooler inside than outside. And I decided to give Ditto the second half of his breakfast. He did not eat the first half. But this time I mixed in a little bit of canned food. It's a chicken and liver pate. I mixed in a little bit. I just wanted to see if he would eat it. And he went over and he started eating it right away, so that's a good sign. I'm gonna go do a few things that I need to do, and then I'll be back here, and hopefully I'll be able to hang out in here with Ditto for a little while. It's 2:22 p.m. and I just brushed Stella and Boo. And Stella has like something going on with her fur. Right here, I don't know if you could see it, but like right here, it's like there's something stuck in her fur. I brushed it quite a while. I think I got most of it out. I don't know what it is or how it got there, but I hope she grooms the rest of it out. It's almost like a big knot in her fur or something. If not, I'll have to keep an eye on it. Here's Simba. I was going to show you how he was laying on the bed because he wants to be brushed next. But I guess he wants to be brushed here. Yeah, that's what he does. Simba, you want to be brushed? You guys haven't been brushed in a few days. I got like 3 brushfuls off of your mother. Stella's like, don't touch my feet. Simba loves being brushed. How you doing, Simba? He's purring. It is 3:15 p.m. and there's Ditto. He's hanging out under the day sofa. I'm gonna go grab the vacuum and vacuum up some of the cat hair because he's been grooming himself since yesterday. Then I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna hang out with them, right, Ditto? Hey, Ditto. I'm gonna sit here and play some video games with you. You wanna play with me? No? You wanna play with a toy? Alright, I'll play with the toy with you first. Now, I just put the air conditioning on, so if you get uncomfortable, you can always go in your round cat bed, okay? Alright, let me get a toy. You wanna play? You wanna play? Hey, Ditto. Wanna play? You wanna play? Well, I have to say that he's definitely sneezing less than he was before. And I also think he's less congested than he was before because it doesn't sound as congested. Hey, Ditto. Hey, Ditto. You don't want to play? The other cats love it when I put like a wand toy under a little blanket or a quilt like this. I think Ditto doesn't know what to do. No? You don't want to play? Boop, boop, boop. 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 Oh, look. Look! Is he learning how to play? Boop, 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 boop. No, you're just getting annoyed, Ditto. You say stop. There's a stop. Ditto. Ditto, Ditto. Ditto, Ditto. Ooh, elevator butt. Elevator butt. Elevator butt. Wanna play with it? Ditto, you gonna play? You gonna learn how to play? No? You wanna play? Under here? You wanna get it? You gonna get it? Gonna get the toy? No? No? Okay, how about something else, Ditto? You want this one? It has feathers. No? You don't care about this one? You want the other one again? How about this? You want this? No? You don't want it? You have a lot of toys to play with, Ditto. Yeah. I'll put it here. I'll leave it there under the quilt, okay, Ditto? I'm gonna hang out here with you, okay? We're just gonna hang out. I just plugged in the pet remedy a few minutes ago, so hopefully that'll start working. I fully expect Ditto to go into the round cat bed because I did put the air on. And I just brought a clean towel in here that I'm putting on the floor so I could sit on a clean towel. It is 8:30 p.m. and I just gave Ditto some food, so he's having homemade raw food. And I put a little tuna juice in with it and some water and the dry herbs and some salmon oil and B vitamins. I hope he eats it. Here he is now. He's hanging out under the day sofa. I spent a little more than an hour with him today, just sitting on the floor kind of in front of the day sofa where he's laying behind it. And I gave him a snack, so I gave him some shredded chicken and he ate it while I was sitting in front of him. And yeah, I think he's pretty happy. He's pretty content. You want me to give you your food over here, Ditto? But you know, you really got to eat it off your tray. You gonna eat it? He should eat it. He likes it. So I gave him fresh water and I scooped out the litter, and I did not notice any worms in the litter. There is a disclaimer on the worming medication to kind of mentally prepare yourself to see potentially live worms when they use the litter box, but I did not see any. I was just watching what he was doing as far as the food coming out of his mouth. We have to remember that he does not have many teeth at all, and the way that a cat's mouth is shaped, it's easier for food to fall out the sides of it when they're eating. It's not like a human mouth where we have cheeks on the side. And yeah, so right now, as I'm filming this, there's actually a premiere going on of Ditto's first night inside the house when he was in the recovery crate. So that'll give you an idea of how far behind these videos are. They're about 3 weeks behind. I believe today's like day 23 or 24. I have to actually go look. I have it written down in a book. So there are about 3 weeks from the time that I filmed these to the time that I've been posting them. And with the amount of footage I've been filming and just the amount of things I have to do, that might actually end up increasing because I've been having a lot of computer problems and these videos are very time consuming to put together. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to let Ditto finish his food. I'm going to feed the other cats. Hydrox is waiting for some food, and then I'll be back to give Ditto the second half of his meal. Ditto's on his second plate of food. I don't think I said that I also put some tuna juice into it. I find that's a really good bribe for him to get him to eat. Also, Hydrox is outside eating his second plate of food. He's getting some canned food, but I put the same herbs in his food that Ditto's been getting. And Ditto was by the window watching Hydrox. He was meowing at him too. So I thought that was kind of cute. When I went outside to give Hydrox his food, I look up and there's Ditto. So Ditto's very concerned about Hydrox. And I know he'll like going back outside to be with Hydrox. I know Hydrox misses Ditto also. The two of them are buddies. They're like a team. It'll be interesting to see how Ditto's behavior changes when he goes back outside? Will he spend more time in the yard? Will he be friendlier to me? Will he come around for meals more often? Is he going to go back to eating dry food out of the feeder and drinking out of dirty water bowls? Like, you know, we'll see what happens. Hydrox is eating his third plate of food. And he sits right next to the plate while I give it to him now, so he's really good with that. And look what's going on here. Hydrox was meowing and Ditto heard him. Ditto's meowing, but we can't hear him because there's too much noise out here and the windows are pretty thick. I just gave Ditto some of the canned food that I gave to Hydrox. I thought he was gonna come out and eat. It is really hot in here. It's 88 degrees in this room. I'm definitely putting the air conditioning on. I've been waiting for him to finish eating. This is a brush. Okay, I brush you. Come on out, Ditto. I feel like he's in a playful mood. He likes seeing Hydrox. Seeing Hydrox makes him very happy. I'm sorry. So one thing he has not done is he has not ever tried to swat at me since he's been inside. He hasn't tried to bite me. He hasn't really hissed at me, but he didn't have a voice. Maybe he tried to, but I couldn't hear him. He's been on his most polite behavior. And I still want to brush him. Brush you? Okay. I'll let him eat in peace. It is 11 p.m. The cats just got their crunchies. And I just gave Ditto a churro. You could eat it if you want it. It's a tuna and shrimp churro. And I really just want to observe how he eats it and what he's doing. There's a video on right now with like ducks and geese. I've not heard or seen Ditto sneeze today at all. And he definitely does not sound congested today, which is a good thing. And both of those are symptoms of the stomatitis. So it seems that we're making progress with that. On the churro, I put 2 drops of rescue remedy, and I also put 2 drops of the it's called a 3-lung tincture, and it really helps with congestion. Not that Ditto has any, but it really also heals mucous membranes. So that's why I gave it to him. And what I realized today is that Ditto has had no catnip since he's been in this room. I might try some catnip tomorrow, see how that does as far as like relaxing him and stuff. And the other thing I have not done yet is I have not put like gates in an open door to see how he reacts to the other cats or the other cats react to him. I was waiting on that because, you know, I wanted to get to a point where Ditto was not sneezing and there would be no like droplet contamination or anything. Even though if I do put gates on the door, I kind of just expect Ditto to stay under this day sofa. But you never know. So anyway, Ditto, here's your squeeze up. I'm moving it out here so you could finish it near the rug so you don't have to keep pushing it all over, okay? I want you to have a good night, Ditto, okay? You have a good night because I'm going to go to bed. I'm really tired. It's been a very long day, okay? All right, Ditto, you hang out. Oh, I know what's going on. He's afraid. You're afraid of Boo? You're afraid of the other cats?
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
I would like to give a shout out to Abril, C.R.Barboni, Danielle Coffroad, and Debbie Kirby. Thank you so much for your patronage this month and your generous support.
It is 6:55 a.m. I just woke up a few minutes ago and I heard meowing, so I was like, what's going on in the recovery room? And this is what's going on. Ditto is sitting by the window and meowing. He's meowing for Hydrox. So, Ditto's very, very much looking forward to going back outside. And this is a big difference between Ditto and Boo. Boo never did this. When Boo was in the recovery room, he never sat by the window and meowed. Like, he never gave any indication that he wanted to go back outside. Good morning, Ditto. It is 10:40 a.m. and I've been outside for like the past 3 hours taking care of some yard work and cleaning out the garage because, you know, things have gotten very behind and backed up because, you know, I've just been juggling so many things now with Ditto in the house and all different things, right, Ditto? It's okay, Ditto. Don't feel bad about that. It's not your fault. There's just a lot to do all the time, right? So I just gave Ditto some food. It's on the tray. And it is some homemade raw food with the dry herbs mixed in. I mixed in some tuna juice, some water, and some B vitamins. And I just removed the plate from the squeeze up last night. I hope he goes and eats it. And yeah, this morning he was meowing by the windows, and I don't know where Hydrox was, because when I went outside this morning, Hydrox came from I don't know where, and he looked like he had a full belly. He looked like he just ate, and he was not meowing for food or anything, so I don't know if he was out hunting or at one of the neighbors' houses or whatever, but he's been trying to stay cool in this heat. He definitely misses Ditto, and Ditto definitely misses Hydrox, and when Ditto sees Hydrox, like, you could just feel how happy Ditto gets. Like, it just totally changes around him. So I know he's looking forward to going back outside to being with Hydrox, right, Ditto? But we want to try to get him as good and healthy as we can. I mean, he's really healthy right now. He's made such, like, a turn for the best since he's been inside. And let's keep that, Ditto, okay? Keep eating the good food with all the nutritious herbs in it, and keep drinking fresh water and relaxing and stay out of trouble, okay? All right? It's 11 a.m. I'm checking in on Ditto. He has not eaten his food that I put on the tray. So I just moved it here. Let's move it toward him. Is he going to eat it? Is he getting lazy? He just wants his food delivered to wherever he is. It's 11:05. I just looked out the back door and there's Hydrox, so I gave him some food with some water and herbs mixed in, the same herbs that Ditto is eating in his food. I'm gonna go give Ditto the rest of his food, and then I would like to eat something. It's already after 11. I haven't eaten anything today yet. It's 12:30 p.m. and Boo and Simba are hanging out on the bed together. How you guys doing? It's 3:53 p.m. Let's see what the cats are up to. So here's Splash. He's been all stretched out over here. I guess he found a cool spot on the floor, or else he just really likes this ottoman. There's Boo. Boo was laying on top of the cat condo, very similar to how Simba always lays, with his legs all different directions and his stomach in the air. And I was going to show him, but yeah, he just got up. It is 4:30 p.m. and here's Ditto. He's hanging out on the quilt. And I thought I'd come in here and spend some time with him. I'm not doing any afternoon snacks today because none of the cats really want any. Ditto did not finish the second half of his breakfast, but that's okay. He seems to have less of an appetite after I gave him the dewormer, so that could be a good thing. Right, Dittos? How you doing, Ditto? Blip. Blip, blip. I am going to put the towel on the floor, and I'm going to sit here and hang out and just spend some time with Ditto, right? You want to play? Ditto, you want to play? No? You want to go under here? The cats love it when I put a little wand toy under a blanket like this. No? No? I'm sorry, Ditto. I didn't mean to disturb you. I just wanted to see if you wanted to play. You're not in the mood to play? Okay, you don't have to be in the mood to play. Okay. It is 4:37 p.m. and I just triple gated the door. So I went downstairs and I got the other two gates. And this is very similar to how I had it for Boo. So I have a gate on the bottom, a gate in the middle, and a gate on top. So the entire door is gated. And I'm gonna sit in here with Ditto for a little while and we'll just see if any of the other cats come by. I should have brought a bottle of water with me because I'm really thirsty, but I also just put the air on. So hopefully it'll cool this room down. It's about 86 in this room right now. The other part of the house was 83. Here's Ditto. He's hanging out under the day sofa. I don't think he really cares. But I'm getting a nice breeze right here. It seems that he's been grooming himself less the past few days since I gave him the wormer. All right, I'm just gonna sit here and we'll see what happens. It's 5 o'clock. Look at what's going on here. Ditto went on the shelf and I'm in the room. And he's meowing. I think he's meowing for Hydrox. You're meowing for Hydrox? Well, you want me to turn this pinball game off? You don't like the noise on the pinball? I'll turn it off. I'll turn the sound off, okay? Look at this, look. It's Boo. Boo's looking in the door. He's looking in the gate. He says, what's going on in there? Ditto just saw Boo. He acknowledged him. And Boo just saw Ditto. What's the matter, Ditto? What's wrong? He's meowing. Would you like to go outside, Ditto? You want to go outside and see Hydrox? You want to go outside and see Hydrox, Ditto? Boo's still in the hallway. He's looking at me. When Boo was in this room, I actually used to put this gate on the bottom because that way the cats could like put their paws through it towards each other. But today I'm putting this gate on the bottom because you know, they really can't get their paws in there or anything. Ditto is still hanging out on the shelf. I don't want to get too close to him because he'll just run under the day sofa. I wonder if he sees Hydrox outside. You see Hydrox? Who's out there? Do you see somebody? Who's out there? Is somebody out there? Is somebody out there, Ditto? Who's outside? Nobody. I don't see nobody. I don't see anybody out there. You see somebody out there? Do you see somebody out there? Because I don't see anybody out there. Do you see somebody out there? Who do you see out there? Oh, I know what's going on. He's afraid. You're afraid of Boo? You're afraid of the other cats? You're afraid of the other cats because of the door? The door's open? Yeah, okay, I'll shut the door. I just shut the door, so he should feel safer again. So I just shut the door and Ditto went back under the day sofa. I guess he feels safer under here, but when the door was open, he was obviously wanting to escape out the window. And, you know, it would be the easiest way to get him back outside would be to open the window, open the screen, and then put something outside that he could then, like, go out on. I wish there was, like, a staircase or something I could put outside so he'll just, like, go out and down the steps. I don't have anything like that. I do have a ladder, but I don't know if he would actually go down a ladder. But look, now that the door is shut, he's calmed down again. So that was the gate in the door experiment, and he's not happy with that. So that's another difference between Boo and Ditto. So when I put gates in the door for Boo and I opened it so he could see the other cats, he never had the reaction that Ditto just had. Like, he never went to the windows and tried to go outside at all. Like, he would go to the gate and want to see the other cats, because we have to remember Boo is family with Stella, Splash and Simba, and Ditto was not family with them. I mean, he might be related. Chances are he is genetically related, but as far as like a family unit, eating together, spending time together, he's not a family unit with the other cats. Boo was a family unit with Stella, Splash, and Simba. They were a happy family, and Ditto was never part of that. Ditto's family is Hydrox. Hydrox and Ditto are family. They're buddies. They're partners. They take care of each other. So, you know, that would be reasonable for Ditto want to go outside. Ditto, I just want to keep you inside a few more days, okay? A few more days so we could just make sure you're good and well, okay? I put some catnip on top of the day sofa, so maybe it will help calm Ditto down, but he's been meowing at the window again. I just put this toy on. Maybe it'll distract him. That's the goal, just to distract him from whatever has him like spooked or agitated. He's been so good during the 3 weeks he's been in here. He hasn't been really excessively howling to get out or doing what he did today. Something about the gates and the door really triggered him. And I guess seeing the other cats in the house triggered him. He's watching the feather go around. Okay, Ditto, you're okay. You're safe. You're safe, okay? Go after the toy. Play with the toy, okay? It is 5:40 p.m. He is still not happy. I still hear him meowing from the other side of the house. What's the matter, Ditto? What's wrong? You're okay. You're okay, Ditto. You're safe. You're safe, okay? You're okay. You are okay. You are safe. You're safe. It is 6:24 p.m. and I just put out some food for Ditto. This is his dinner. It is some homemade raw food, some Stella and Chewy's chicken patty, water mixed in, salmon oil, dry herbs and B vitamins and tuna juice. Here's Ditto. He's hanging out under the day sofa. So I put the catnip on top, and I also sprayed it with Pet Remedy. And I think it helped to calm him down because he hasn't been meowing and sitting by the window, like very agitated. You want to eat, Ditto? Okay, he's eating his food. I gave him new water and scooped out the litter a little while ago. And he's still using the litter in the crate. So that's good because he's still going in the crate. So right now I have like 3 options to move him back outside. One option is to get him into the crate, shut the crate, and then wheel the crate to the back door and let him out outside the back door. That's an option. Obviously the crate is big and clunky, but there are wheels on the bottom of it, so it is an option. The other option is to put the other carrier in this room. I just washed out the other carrier because it's been in the garage for a while and then it was outside, so I just washed it out. It's drying outside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in here with a towel inside, and I'll spray the towel with some Pet Remedy, put some catnip in there. We'll see if we can get Ditto to lay in there. He might like laying in there. So that would be another option, getting him into a cat carrier and then taking the cat carrier outside. Like, that is the ideal option. The third option is putting like some sort of staircase or like some kind of ladder or cat tower outside the window. Then I would just open the window and he could step out the window onto, like, let's say a staircase and go down that way. So I've been looking at some, they call them ladder shelves. So they're like a ladder, but they're also shelves. So like the top shelves are more narrow and they widen at the bottom, and I kind of think that might be an ideal solution because he could just step out onto it and then walk down it like you would a cat tower or a set of stairs. So I might go out and look, and I think they might have those at the Christmas tree shop. There's an IKEA around here. I don't know if they would have it at IKEA. But those are 3 options. The next 2 days, we're supposed to get a lot of rain. It's supposed to be really stormy. So that's why I would rather Ditto stayed inside the next several days. And then once the weather gets better, then he could go out, and I'd rather give him the option of going outside like in the beginning of the day more so than at night. That way he has all day to like get himself situated and reacquainted and everything. So that's my thought process right now. That's what's going on. Hopefully he won't freak out anymore. I'm just going to make sure that the door stays shut, and I'm not going to put the gates in the door anymore because that was not something that he enjoyed. So see, he doesn't even like me talking about it. Here, you want me to turn this around for you? Here. There you go, Ditto. I won't talk about it anymore, okay? I'll leave and I'll let you finish, okay? Okay, so I just heard him sneeze for the first time in days. What I'm showing you here is this was like the haunted house cat scratcher, and I took it out because he never uses it. And I just moved this to the side, but this is where I might put the other carrier. He has been staying away from this carrier. He has not been going near it. So that's why I don't think it's going to be very easy to get him in this one. But I'm hoping if I put the other carrier here, or even on the day sofa, he might want to hang out in it. Alright guys, so we heard him sneezing. And this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to look at this to see if there's any like blood on it. And there's no blood on it, so that's a good sign. Also, earlier when he was by the window and freaking out, he did have some drool coming out of his mouth, but it was like clear drool or white drool. There was no blood on the drool, so I think that's a good sign also. Finish your food, Ditto. You can finish it. Good boy. Good boy. It is 10:30 p.m. and I just made a snack for Ditto. I'm gonna give him what's left of the baked salmon. Ditto, would you like to eat that? It's salmon. You could eat it. You could eat it, Ditto. It's for you. Ditto, you like it. I put the tincture in there to help with congestion and healing his mucous membranes. He sounds so much better than he did just a few weeks ago. And it looks like he's been doing a little bit more grooming because I do see some more like cat hair on the floor. So my goal is just to keep him calm and content for the next several days. Ideally, I would like to keep him in here for 30 days. I think that's a good amount of time. So there are mice videos on the TV. And I will let him finish his food. And I'll see you tomorrow, Ditto, okay? You have a very good night, Ditto, okay? Sleep well. Sweet dreams. Okay? Okay. You're okay. You purring?
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It is 3:30 a.m. and I woke up because I heard a cat meowing. And Ditto's been sitting by the window just meowing nonstop, like crying. So I just came in to check on him and he went under the day sofa. Maybe I'll give him a plate of food. I just gave Ditto a plate with some canned tuna on it and it looks like he's eating it. I could see his tail there by the tray I put on the tray. And here's Boo. Poor Boo's all upset. Poor Boo's all upset. He's all upset about what's going on. It's okay, Boo. It's okay, Boo. You're a good boy. Let's go back to sleep, okay? It's 5 a.m. I just woke up to the sound of a cat crying again. It wasn't Boo. It was Ditto. So I went to see what he was doing, and he was by the window. So I gave him about half a can of tuna to eat. He came over to the plate while I was putting the food on the plate, and he let me pet him, and he was purring. So that was very good progress for Ditto. But I need sleep. I'm exhausted, and this is not fun. Good morning, Ditto. I just gave you some food. We got some homemade raw food, and I put some tuna in there because I know you like tuna. And I gave you herbs. And I gave you B vitamins. I forgot the salmon oil, but I put the tuna in. You want some salmon oil? You gonna come out and eat? I put it on the tray so you can come out and eat, okay? Come on. Here, you want me to show it to you first? See, I'm showing it to you. You're getting a good smell of it? You're gonna eat it? Okay, but you gotta eat it on the tray. Come on. Okay, I just put some salmon oil on it. He did not want to come out and eat it on the tray. So instead of letting the food sit there all day without him eating it and then all of it going to waste. I put it back under here for him. Now I'm going to go feed the other cats. So what I figured out last night is that many times when he is sitting by the window and meowing, and it means that he wants to go out and hunt, it's because he's hungry. So last night when he was doing that, I gave him some tuna, and then he quieted down and he just relaxed. So that happened at 2:30 when he was meowing by the window. I gave him a little bit of tuna and he was fine until about 5 a.m. or 4:45 a.m. And then I did the same thing, except I gave him more tuna and he totally relaxed after that. But that would make sense, because if a cat wants to go outside, it usually wants to go outside to hunt, wants to hunt to eat. So by giving it some food at that hour, you'll be able to help it relax and calm down. It is 10:15 a.m. I just opened the back door and saw this. Looks like Hydrox is waiting for breakfast. Hydrox is eating some canned food. It is some of the Thanksgiving dinner canned food. And I put the dry herbs in it, salmon oil, B vitamins. See, he's getting the same supplements as Ditto. And I give him the canned food because sometimes he's not in the mood to eat. Sometimes he looks like he's going to eat, but he's not in the mood to eat. So hopefully he'll eat that. So I just gave Hydrox his second plate of food outside. And I saw Ditto in the window. Ditto's meowing in the window. So I'm assuming he wants more food. And one thing I noticed when I was petting him this morning, like really early, he is still like super, super thin. Maybe he gained like a pound since he's been in here. But oh my gosh, like I could pretty much feel every bone. So I'm going to give him some canned food now, and we'll see what he does. You're going to eat on the tray, okay? I'll give you some canned. This is chicken and liver. You like chicken and liver. You're okay. You purring? You purring? You're purring. Can you hear him purring? You could eat it. You okay? You okay? I just squatted down. He might feel like I'm ready to attack him. Come on. Come here, Ditto. Come here, Skinny Ditto. That's your new name, Skinny Ditto. Eat your food, Skinny. Eat your food, Skinny. Skinny Ditto. Wow, he's really purring. So the goal is to be able to pet him, because if I can pet him and maintain this relationship with him, then when he's outside I should still be able to pet him. And if I could do that, then I would never have to trap him again, because if I could pet him, then I could pick him up. So if I can pet him, I could then grab him by the scruff of the neck and then do a scruff carry or a scruff grab, whatever they call it. And then that would be the best thing if he needed medical attention again. Look how clean his back paws are. I don't remember the last time I saw them that clean. He does need to be brushed, but he doesn't seem to like the brush as much as he likes being petted. Right? Maybe now he will. So the trick with Ditto is the canned food. I think he's very much like Boo. in that respect, or how Boo was. Boo's just gotten super fussy with the food he eats. I think Ditto's starting to enjoy this. He's so skinny. Okay. Yeah. It is 3:30 p.m. I just got home and there's a massive thunderstorm coming. I drove through it. It seems to be slow moving, so it should be on its way here. Either that or maybe it already passed, but it was pretty bad. It is 3:45 p.m. and I just gave Ditto a snack. He's having a churro. And then I had some cooked ground beef in my refrigerator, so I chopped it up really small for him. A few minutes ago when I came in the room, Ditto was sitting by the windows, and he jumped down, and he stood on the floor here. He did not run under the day sofa. He just stood here, and I was like, oh, do you want a snack? And he just stood there, so I was like, okay, I'll go get you a snack. So I thought that was good. Hello, Ditto. Would you like a snack? Is the thunder scaring you? There's been some pretty loud thunder. I know, there's been some loud thunder. Here. Want your snack? You can eat it. It's a churro. You like them. I would like to clean up these towels because they have all of this catnip on it, and Ditto does not seem to be enjoying it. Look how pretty the flowers are in this room right now. Ditto's working on the ground beef. It's a different texture for him because he's been eating pretty much everything pretty soft, so it's taking him a little bit longer. It is 9 p.m. I just gave Ditto some fresh water. And I have to scoop out this litter box. And I have to scoop out that litter box. And Ditto's been hanging out here on the shelf by the windows. I've not heard him meowing though. And here he is under the day sofa. So what happens is when I come in the door, he jumps down from the shelf by the windows. He stares at me from the floor. And then he goes under here. Ditto! Ditto! I am going to scoop out the litter. And then I'm going to give you some dinner, okay? We're running a little bit late today because I put 2 videos up, okay? I just put up Ditto Day 2. and also Ditto's second night in the house. So it takes a lot of time, Ditto. It takes a lot of time to edit those. So yeah, I'm sorry, but we're running late on our dinner schedule today, right? So I'll make sure you get some really good food to make up for it, okay? How you doing? You doing okay? You doing okay, Dittos? It's about 9:10 p.m. right now, and something really interesting just happened. So I put Ditto's food on the tray, and he was under the day sofa, and when he came out to eat it, he actually rubbed up against the corner of the day sofa. I've never seen him do that before. That was like the first time he did that. So let me see if I could pet him. Can you want some pets? No? Okay, go back. So he is eating homemade raw food with Stella and Chewy's duck goose patties mixed in, the dry herbs, B vitamins, I forgot the salmon oil again, and a little tiny bit of canned tuna. Okay, so I gave it to him under the day sofa because I need to get the other cats fed, and I would like to spend some time with Ditto today. The goal is to get him fed so he eats all of his food. This is only the first half of his food. Then after he eats all this food, I would really like to vacuum the room and then hang out in here with him. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's the goal. It is 9:15 p.m. Everything outside is soaking wet from the storms that came through this afternoon. I just gave Hydrox some food, so he's having some canned food. I think it's like a turkey pate, performatrin, and I gave him the same herbs that I gave Ditto. So he's just been hanging out here. He seems to like it a lot. I mean, he's been on those herbs for a few days now, and he's been coming by for the meals, which is good. When the weather's nice, he has been roaming and out and about, but recently he's been coming for the meals. Now I have to feed the inside cats. It is 9:35 p.m. I just gave Ditto some more food, and as I was putting it on the plate, he was coming out to eat it, which is good. And I just sat down here. There's so much cat hair in this room right now. He's been grooming himself again. Hydrox just had his second plate of food outside, and I was downstairs with Stella. We're sneaking in a little playtime, and all of a sudden we heard like all this noise coming from this room. And I was like, what's going on? It appeared that Ditto was scratching this scratchy rug, which is fine, that's what it's there for. So when I checked the security camera, he was sitting by the window meowing and meowing and meowing. So I said I better come up and give him some more food because that calms him down. And once he eats this, I really would like to vacuum this room. So I'm going to leave him alone to eat because I still have to clean up the kitchen, wash some dishes, and get some other stuff done. It's 10:45 p.m. I just finished cleaning up the kitchen, and I just made Ditto some pureed chicken liver because he really likes this and he hasn't had it in a few days. I want to use them up before they go bad. So he seems to be enjoying it, which is good. It's 11:15, and I've been sitting here on the floor hanging out with Ditto. He might have some food on his nose from the chicken liver, so if you see anything red on his face, don't be alarmed. It's the chicken liver he was eating. And yeah, he's just hanging out. He might be a little chilly because the air conditioning is on right now, and I'm really feeling it right here, so I'm going to go turn it off. I'm also going to go and get the vacuum and vacuum up this room a little bit. I can't really get too deep into a cleaning because I don't want to freak him out too much, so I just try to do what I can without putting too much stress on Ditto.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It is 7:51 a.m. Look at Boo. He's so silly. Good morning, Splash. Splash likes to hang out in bed. Look how big the cat grass has gotten. Good morning, Ditto. Ditto was hanging out by the window and meowing. It is 8:30 a.m. And Boo was laying on the bed and he had sleepers in his eyes, like he had a bunch of eye boogers. And I was like, Boo, what did you... I'm like, what did he eat last night that would have caused that? So I got a tissue, like a damp tissue, and I went to wipe his eyes and he ran out of the bedroom and he came over here. And I tried to wipe his eyes again. And instead of letting me wipe his eyes, he smashed his head into the grass. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's showing me how cats use grass to clean themselves. Like, cats use grass and natural materials to help themselves groom. I thought that was very interesting. And then he decided to jump on it and do what he's doing now. But first he literally smashed his face into the grass. And I was just talking about that the other day. And he did that because he knew I wanted to clean those sleepers out of his eyes. And he's like, I'll just clean my face myself. And to be honest, the grass did clean one of the eye boogers off of his eye. But I got the other one with the tissue. But I thought that was really interesting. So that explains why cats like to smash their face into grass, because it's a way of grooming their face. I also knew that once this cat grass got really big and was starting to decline, that the cats would use it more for like laying in it or on it than actual eating. Stella's surveying the grass. She's like, what did Boo do? Oh, now she's going to eat some of it. Now this morning, someone vomited, or it sounded like someone vomited. Someone was trying to vomit. I heard it from the bedroom, but I was like barely awake. And I was like, okay, it definitely sounds like someone is throwing up. But I walked all around the house today and have not found it, so unless they were downstairs. It did not sound like they were downstairs. If they were downstairs, then I just have like bionic hearing. It is also possible that maybe it was Ditto and it's in Ditto's room, but it sounded like it was not behind a closed door. Like it sounded like it was just somewhere out in the open. Is Stella gonna lay on it now? Yeah. Stella's gonna lay on it. Well, I'm glad they enjoy this grass. Here's Simba. Good morning, Simba. It is 9 a.m. Good morning, Ditto. Good morning. It is 9:10 a.m. and I just found the vomit. Ditto vomited under the day sofa. I'm gonna have to clean it up. Looks like part of it is on the quilt also. Not fun. Not a fun way to start my day. It is now about 9:30 a.m. I cleaned up all the vomit and it was mostly just like clumps of hair because Ditto has been grooming himself so much. So that is, reasonable. And I put the quilt in the laundry, so it's in the washing machine. And I vacuumed the room as best as I could. I also washed the floor as best as I could underneath the day sofa while Ditto hung out in the corner where he is now. I just gave him the first half of his breakfast, which is a scoop of homemade raw food, one of the Stella and Chewy Duck Duck Goose patties. I did put the salmon oil into it, put the herbs, put the B vitamins, so hopefully he'll eat it. He just might be a little spooked, a little freaked out because of all the cleaning that I did and the vacuuming. So let me back up. Okay, I'm gonna leave the room and we'll see if he eats. It is 10:07. I wanted to see if Ditto ate his food. He did not eat his food. It could be because his tummy is still a little bit upset because, you know, he vomited hairballs a little while ago, or it could just be that he doesn't want to eat because he's afraid of vomiting again. When I walked in the room, he was sitting on the shelf by the window. So I'm going to move this plate over. I'm going to come back in the room with a little bit of canned food. Let's see if he'll eat it. I just put a little bit of canned food on the plate. He's looking at it. He's looking at it. Is he going to eat it? He's eating it. See how smart he is? He's looking good today. Very clean. So the question now is, will he only eat the canned food, or is he going to eat the raw food with it? And it looks like he's eating the raw food that's next to the canned food. Good job, Ditto. Good job, Ditto. You want some pets? I don't want to spook him. Would you like some pets? Elevator butt pets. My stomach's growling. I haven't eaten yet. You're so skinny. Skinny Ditto. Skinny Ditto. Well, he doesn't mind. He's purring. Okay. It is 2:30 p.m. and I just came into the recovery room and Ditto was on the shelf near the window. And when I came inside, he jumped down and he went under the day sofa. I wanted to see if he wanted a snack. Ditto, would you like a snack? You want a snack? I gave him what was left of the small can of cat food. It's the Muse Natural Chicken Recipe cat food. I still have half of his breakfast, which he did not eat, but I know he really likes the canned food. And since he had an upset stomach this morning and vomited, I figured let me give him something that I know he enjoys, because he might not have the best appetite right now. Is he going to sit down? You going to sit down and eat, Ditto? Are you comfortable enough to sit down and eat? Do you think he'll let me pet him again? Give me a pet? Can I have a pet, Ditto? Sometimes if you just pet a cat with one finger, it doesn't overstimulate them. It's a good way to start. When I pet him with only one finger, he doesn't feel as thin. When I pet him with my own hand, Then he feels so thin. He definitely feels a little bit better than he did when he was living outside, because then he was even more bony than he is now. Okay, good job, Ditto. There's a lot of loose cat hair on him. Brush you a little bit. This is not a cat brush, so it's not ideal. But maybe it'll help a little bit. At least Ditto has been making big progress with brushing and patting. Will he remember this progress? I don't know. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Can you see from above how thin he is? He definitely can put on some weight. You okay? Would you like some more? Ditto, you want some more food? Oh, he rubbed up on the day sofa. Yay. Good job. You want some more food? Would you like some more food? I have the rest of your breakfast I can give you. Look, he's rubbing on it again. So here's Ditto. He's back under the day sofa, and I'm not giving him any more food right now because I don't want to put too much food in his stomach at once after he had an uneasy stomach this morning. We'll see how he does with what he had. I could come back in a few hours and give him a little bit more if he's hungry in a little while. The nice thing about working from home is that I could check up on him throughout the day. If I was in my office all day, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of this. So Ditto says he's very happy about that. He's very thankful that I've been working from home and that I could give him this opportunity to heal in this room. And today is day 27. Ditto has been in this room for 27 days. Ditto, that's amazing, right? 27 days. In a few more days, it'll be day 30. You want to go outside on day 30, Ditto? You want to go outside and see your friend Hydrox on day 30? Would that make you happy? I know it makes you very happy every time you see Hydrox. Ditto says that gives him something to look forward to, and he hopes that I'm not lying about it. I'm not lying, Ditto. We got to figure out how we're going to get you out there, though. Are you going to go in a carrier? Are you going to get yourself into a carrier? We're going to put you in the crate and just wheel the crate out, or are you just going to go out the window? If I put a staircase outside the window, you're just going to go outside the window? Is that what you're going to do? Maybe. It would be easiest if you just sat in a carrier. If you sat in a carrier, I could just put you outside real easy. Ditto says he thinks a staircase might be adventurous. Well, we'll have to see how that goes, Ditto. I have a bunch of different ideas, but I don't know what we're going to be able to work out, okay? Alright, you take it easy. I'll be back in a little while. I thought I would film an update on this cat-shaped groomer. So we've had this for several months now, and it has been moved to multiple locations around the house, and none of the cats have ever used it. They don't like rubbing up against it. They use the other ones, like we have the catted groomers that you hang on a corner. They love those. They use them like every day. And Boo loves his arches. And they love their scratchy ramp. And then they have a cat scratcher downstairs that they really like. And they do get brushed, but for some reason they do not like this cat-shaped groomer. So I just wanted to film an update about that. So 4 out of 4 cats have not used this in several months, and I've moved it all over the house. And even Boo doesn't like using it, and he loves self-grooming. So, you know, with cats, sometimes you have to move things to a different location and then they use it more. Like Stella, for example, there's an IKEA doll bed downstairs that is the perfect size for cats. And no one was using it, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna give this away because nobody's using it. So I moved it near the stairs because then I was gonna bring it upstairs and donate it. But all of a sudden Stella started using it, and I was like, well, I guess I can't donate it now because now Stella's enjoying it. So, you know, with cats, sometimes you just gotta find a new location for something. So Simba has just smelled it. I've never seen him use it. Nobody uses it. And you could tell nobody uses it because there's no cat hair on it. None whatsoever. Right, Boo? So, yeah, that's the update. It is 4:35 p.m. Hello, Ditto. I got your clean quilt. Just came out of the laundry, okay? I'm gonna put it under here for you. Okay? I'm gonna put it right here. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to hit you. There. There's your quilt. It's on this side now, okay, Ditto? So you hang out there. There's your quilt. And there's you. I know it's kind of hot. All the cats are all stretched out. They're all stretched out all over the house, okay? You could lay on your quilt if you want to. It's brand new, all cleaned. Okay? Okay, Dittos. I'm brushing Boo. I just brushed Stella. And Boo has a new thing now. So now when I brush Boo, he likes to lay in the grass. He's not doing it right now because I went to get the camera and he followed me in the other room to find the camera. But he was doing it. And here's Stella. Stella's still eating it, even though it's so big. The grass is almost as tall as the cats. Oh, here comes Simba. Simba says he wants to be brushed. Well, when Boo was laying in the grass, he looked like a panther in the grass. And that's why I picked up the camera to start filming to show you the panther in the grass. He's smelling Simba's tail. It is 7:30 p.m. and I just gave Ditto half of a can of cat food. It is salmon. What you doing? You hanging out? I put the air conditioning on because it's really hot. It's about 87 degrees in this room, so it could be that he just doesn't want to eat near the vent. There you go, Ditto. You don't want your food? You like canned food. You love canned food. You don't like canned salmon? You don't want canned salmon? I gave you canned salmon. You like salmon. He's rubbing up on this day sofa a lot. You can eat it. You can eat it. He's rubbing up on the leg here. So when he's outside, sometimes he doesn't eat his food right away, but he'll go back and eat it. And when he's outside, he rubs up on things. So that's he's purring right now. It reminds me of what he's doing now. He hasn't done this. This is the first time he's done this. Okay, Ditto, eat your food, okay? Eat your food, Ditto. I gotta go feed the other cats, okay? And I'll be back. It is 8 p.m. and Hydrox is on his second plate of food. I put his first plate out a while ago and he was just sitting next to it for a very long time. I finally came up the steps because the other cats had their meal and he finished it, so I just gave him some more. And there's Ditto. Ditto's been watching Hydrox from the window. He's also been rubbing on everything near the window today. It's the first time he's been rubbing up on everything by the window, so he's in a very friendly mood. And he's been in that house for 27 days, and I'm starting to wonder if Hydrox is going to recognize him when he comes out, just because, you know, he's going to smell very different than he smelled when he was out here. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Will they remember each other? And what will a reunion be like? And yeah, we have to remember also that when Stella first came inside, she didn't stay inside. Neither did Splash or Simba. They were inside-outside cats for about 3 months before they became permanently inside cats. And I'm not saying that Ditto is going to become an inside cat. I'm not saying that at all. But just because he goes outside does not mean anything in the long run. It doesn't mean he's never going to come back inside the house. It just means that he's going to go back outside because this is where he wants to be. And he wants to be with his buddy Hydrox. Could be his dad. Hydrox could be Ditto's dad. We have to remember that. They're definitely family. So he wants to be with his family member Hydrox. And even now he's meowing. See, the other cats never did that. When I was outside with Boo, and I would be out here training Boo, and I'd look at the window, Stella and Simba would always be in the window, but they had no indication that they wanted to come outside. They never meowed or anything. They just liked watching the show. That was it. So that's another difference, because Ditto obviously wants to come out. Look at Ditto. He's laying down on the shelf by the window. I've never seen him do this before. Usually he's like up, that's what he normally does. He'll normally stand there and he'll pace back and forth, but he actually was just like sitting there or laying there. So Ditto did not eat the salmon. I gave him some chicken on the other plate, that plate right there. It has some chicken pate. It's the Performatrin cat food that Hydrox is enjoying outside. What you doing, Ditto? Did you want some pets? Is that what it is? Would you like some pets? You want some pets? Is that what you want? You want some pets? Skinny? Skinny Ditto? Skinny Ditto? Oh, look. Look! He just rubbed up against my legs. Ditto, that's the first time in 27 days that you've done that. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. We're going to be friends now? Now you can eat? Okay, he says now he could eat. Now he can eat. I just wanted to sit down on the chair because why not? I'm tired. What you doing? Go eat your food. Go eat your food, silly. Go eat your food, silly Ditto. Alright, now he's eating the salmon. Very good. Very good. You know, it could also be that he's being nice to me now because he's excited to get out of here in 3 days. I still have to put that other carrier in here. I haven't figured out where I'm going to put it, but I'm definitely going to put it in here. I just need to figure out what I'm going to put inside of it also. It is 10:15, and I just gave Ditto a snack. It is a churro along with some cooked chicken. How you doing, Ditto? When I walked in the room, he was by the windows. I don't know if he was sitting there or what. I haven't heard him meowing, so I don't think he was meowing by the windows. Hey, Ditto. Hydrox is on the step, and I was like, why is Hydrox sitting there? Where Hydrox was sitting, he could see Ditto in the window if he looked up. I don't know if he's been watching Ditto from the window or what. You gonna eat your snack? You gonna eat your snack? Ditto? Ditto, you gonna eat your snack? It's a churro and chicken. It's a churro and chicken, Ditto. Ditto, it's a churro and chicken. You like both of those. Okay? Okay? You gonna eat them? Okay, eat the chicken. Eat the churro. You can do it. You want me to give you a pet first? You want a pet first? Okay. You gonna rub up on everything first? You gonna rub up on me? No? You're gonna just do a drive-by over there? Look at that, he's sitting down now. Now he's sitting down to eat. So the plate on the right is the half can of salmon, which he pretty much ate. He left some on the plate. And the plate on the left is the performatrin chicken pate, which he didn't want to eat. I'm going to take those plates out. And right now he's eating some of the chicken. I try to chop it up pretty small for him, so it's easy for him to eat. Pets? Pets? Oh, look at that. Look at that. He lifted up his back to meet the hand. So with the other cats, the inside cats, I have a hand signal. That means pets. And basically, like, this is the hand signal for pets. So like when I go like that, they know it's time for pets. So I'm wondering if I should teach Ditto that hand signal. I'll be like, Ditto, you want some pets? So he's eating well. Hello, Ditto. And he's not sneezing. And he does not sound congested. So I'm really happy that he's doing so well. When Ditto was outside, I always said that if I was able to control all of the variables with him, that I would be able to make really good progress with his health. And I think the past 27 days have really proven that, because I've always said that if I could, control 100% of the food he's eating and the water he's drinking and give him lots of rest, then we can make great progress with him without having to use pharmaceuticals. You hear the purring? He's purring loud. Hey, Dittos. Hey, Dittos. Would you like some more food? You want more of the salmon? You enjoyed the salmon. You want me to give you more salmon? Would you like some more salmon? How you doing? Ooh, you gonna roll around in front of me? You gonna roll around in front of me? That's what you haven't done in a long time, Ditto. When you're outside, you like to roll around in front of me. But if I get near you, you run away, right? You gonna do that again? Ditto, when you go outside, are you gonna roll around in front of me and then run away, or are you gonna be nice to me? You gonna be nice to me? When you're outside, you gonna be nice to me again? Or you gonna forget about me? What are you gonna do, Ditto? You gonna remember me, or you gonna forget about me? You happy? You happy? Okay, I'll go get the salmons. I mixed some extra water into the canned cat food, and I also put more herbs in there for him. He's getting more of the decongestant and mucous membrane healing herbs, along with just the general healing herbs. So I just put some tinctures in there. I just gave him the rest of the can, and I moved the tray a little bit because the air conditioning's on and it's kind of like right in front of the vent, so I'll leave him here with us. I'm gonna go finish cleaning up and then I'll be back. I'll be back, Ditto, okay? Here he is. He just came out from under the day sofa. He was by the window. He was howling and crying and meowing for quite some time now.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It is 8 a.m. Good morning, Stella. And I'm here with Stella. She's a little bit tired. And I was woken up this morning at around 6:30 a.m. because Ditto was crying. I'm assuming he was sitting by the window. Oh, is she gonna jump on the cat turret? Whoa, big jump. but that's okay because I have an early conference call for work today. But I'm here with Stella because we wanted to talk about cat families, right, Stella? And Stella wants to watch birds right now too. So before I started filming videos and posting them on YouTube, Stella and Boo used to be, outdoor feral cats. I live by a wooded area that is home to a family of feral cats. Always has been since I bought this house. As long as I've lived here, there have been feral cats roaming in and out of the yard. And the vast majority of them are feral. Every now and then you might see a stray, but for the most part, they're all from the feral family from the woods. So Stella and Boo came around together every so often, and then they started coming around more often, pretty much on a daily basis, and I would give them some food, and I always saw them together, always. And then I started seeing Stella coming by herself, and she was always super hungry and starving, so I would feed her and give her food. And it was a short while after feeding Stella on a daily basis that I realized she's either pregnant or a nursing mom. I assumed she was a nursing mom because I could see all of her nipples very clearly. They were very large, and she was not like a fat cat. She was super thin, so I figured somewhere she had kittens. And it was a short while after I realized that she showed me her kittens, and I will always remember the day when Stella showed me her kittens because she was so proud of them. Right, Stella? Stella says yes, she was so proud of her kittens. She loved her kittens, and she still loves her kittens now that they're all grown up. And as I got to know the kittens, I realized that it would really break Stella's heart if I separated her from her little family. Like, she was so proud of her little family that there's no way I was going to be able to separate the three of them. So that's why I kept them all together, and that's why they all three of them live in my house now. They've all transitioned from outdoor cats living in nature to indoor house cats. And Boo was also part of that family. I realized that the reason why Stella was coming around by herself was because Boo was babysitting the kittens. I'd look under the fence where I saw the kittens, and I would see Boo with them. So that's how Stella was able to come and get food and leave the kittens somewhere, because she put them with Boo for protection. And you could still see Boo's fatherly instinct at times now. Like, when I get a card that has like kittens meowing in it, he gets very concerned about them. And when Ditto came inside and he was meowing or crying, Boo's very, very concerned about it. So he's definitely a good dad with stuff like that. So the four of them were always a family when they lived outside. I would feed them on a party platter, and they would all eat together, and they would have playtime together, and that's how Stella and Boo learned how to play, because they were playing with the kittens. So they were always a family unit. So when I brought Stella and Splash and Simba inside, the goal was always to eventually get Boo inside. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but that was always the goal. And 9 months later, in September of 2017, he became an indoor cat, and he never, ever, ever wanted to go back outside once he became an indoor cat. He was always so happy to be inside. And I really believe it's because of the bonds that the cats share as a family. So now if we look at Hydrox and Ditto are a family. If we look at their physical appearances, the whole reason Ditto is named Ditto is because he looks like a copy of Hydrox. Originally the thought was to name him Xerox, but he doesn't have the personality of a Xerox, and it might be too confusing, a Hydrox and a Xerox. So that's why he was named Ditto, because he has the personality of a Ditto. And the two of them are not just physical family, but they're also emotional family to each other. They love each other. They spend time together outside. They pretty much eat most of their meals together. They rub up against each other. Like, Ditto loves Hydrox. I really feel like it could be like a father-son relationship. Hydrox being the older cat and Ditto being a bit younger. Or Ditto could be like a grandson to Hydrox. We don't know exactly what the lineage is, but The two of them are definitely family, and I could definitely feel that with Ditto when he's inside and how happy he gets when he sees Hydrox outside the window. And I could see Hydrox outside looking at Ditto in the window and just hanging out. So I feel like the two of them are definitely looking forward to being reunited, and Ditto is going to be so happy to be with Hydrox again, and vice versa. So I think it's very important to try to keep cat families intact, and that's why I believe Ditto will be happier back outside than staying in this room and then going through months and months of socialization and integration. And even then, he would always be an outsider because the rest of the cats are a strong family unit. And even though Boo doesn't always get along with the other cats, it's because he's an alpha male with a big attitude, and you know, he still has a little bit of the thug in him, right, Boo? He says he had to be quite a thug to survive in the wild without everybody else, so he still kind of has those behaviors. He's actually very proud of his survival skills. We're proud of them too, Boo. We think you have very, very good survival skills. Stella thinks it's much nicer to keep Hydrox and Ditto together as a family because she says that they need each other and they keep each other company and they look out for each other, right? And she says she lived outside. It's not bad. And she says it's good to give them jobs in the yard so that they keep all the mice and the rodents away, right, Stella? Good morning, Simba. Good morning, Ditto. Ditto loves laying on this quilt. Last night when I went to bed, I came in to check on him. He was laying on the quilt. He really loves this quilt. Did you sleep good? I didn't check the security camera, so I don't know how you slept. Did you sleep okay? Did you get any sleep at all? Did you sleep at all? Ditto. Good morning, Ditto. I just gave you some food on your tray. Would you like to eat it? There you go. You could eat it. Uh-oh. You're sneezing again? How you doing, Dittos? Okay. And put your herbs in your meal, okay? All right. He's purring. Skinny Ditto. Skinny Ditto. You're a skinny boy. Okay, eat your food. Eat your food, you'll get big and strong. You want more pets instead? Okay, you want pets instead of food? Want to be brushed? Should I brush you? Brush you a bit? Okay, brush you. Now you eat. So Splash is kind of the same way. When I give the cats their food downstairs, Splash doesn't eat it until I pet him a few times. Because in the past, I used that as a tool to kind of help train and socialize Splash. When he was like, you know, very, very afraid of me, I would make him let me pet him before he ate. So I think it stays with Splash, that behavior. And I think Ditto just, he just likes the greeting. He has a lot of loose hair. So he's having homemade raw food with water mixed in. I'm giving him the dry herb mix. I'm giving him the B vitamins, some salmon oil, and a little bit of tuna. I had a can of tuna in the fridge with just a little bit left. Okay, he's enjoying his meal. I'm gonna go feed the other cats, and then I'll be back to give Ditto the second half of his meal. This is only the first half of his meal. It's 9 a.m. and I just walked into the room with the rest of Ditto's breakfast, and he was not hiding under the day sofa. So both times I walked in this morning, Ditto was not hiding. He was just hanging out around here. He's like, when am I going to get the rest of my food? Okay, Ditto, I'll give you the rest of your meal. Good job. All right, I just gave Ditto his food, and as I was putting it on the plate, he was trying to headbutt my hand. How you doing, Ditto? You good boy? Yeah, you're a good boy. Ooh, look at all that cat hair coming off of you. Where's the brush? Where's the brush? Okay. I'm just trying to get you neat and clean, Ditto. I'm trying to get you neat and clean. I never used those wipes that I bought on you either. I still have them here. Okay, let's get you neat and clean. Let's get you neat and cleaned up, huh? Okay, Skinny Minnie? Skinny Ditto? Okay, Skinny Ditto, eat your food. It is 9:07 a.m. and I don't know if you could see this, but there are like mulberries all over this patio. There's a giant mulberry tree somewhere up here. There's just like a whole bunch of trees, and yesterday I spent almost 2 hours cleaning all the mulberries off of the patio. I mean, there was way more than this, and now today there's more, and they're just gonna keep coming. It is 9:12 a.m. and I just gave Hydrox a little bit of canned food with the herb mixture, so I hope he eats it. I only give him a little bit because sometimes he doesn't like eating breakfast, and he had a huge dinner last night, so we'll see. He's here right now. Sometimes he sits here a while and then he eats it. It's 9:22 a.m. and I just heard a really weird noise coming from this room. At first I thought it was the cats using the scratcher, but then I was like, no, that's not what it is. So I couldn't figure out what it was. So I came in the room and I saw what looked like Boo chasing a ball under a piece of furniture. I'm like, what ball is that? It ends up that it's the ball from this toy. Somehow, Boo got the ball out, and now it's lost. And Boo's sad. Boo's sad that there's no ball in it anymore because he took it out. Poor Boo. Poor Boo took the ball out. But that's okay, Boo, because look, I just found it. I'll put it back in for you. Boo, you gonna get the ball out again? I dare you. Get the ball out again. I don't think you could do it, Boo. Can you get that ball out again? Get the ball out. Boo's hunting it from the grass. Every time I come over here and turn the camera on, he stops. Like, he's making really loud noises with this thing. But then when I come here and put the camera on, he changes his behavior. It is 9:45 a.m. and I just brought this carrier into the room and I set it up here next to the crate and I put a towel in it. It's a clean, fresh towel. And I want to spray it with Pet Remedy. I thought I had the Pet Remedy in this room, but I don't. So I'm going to have to go out and find it. But I'm not going to put any catnip in it because there was catnip on the day sofa and Ditto didn't really care for it. So for now, I have this here. This won't necessarily stay here, but this is where it is for now. And here's Ditto. He is under the day sofa and he is drooling quite a bit, but at least it's clear drool. We have to remember that he's missing most of his teeth, so drooling could be an issue with him, especially after he eats or while eating, just because of the anatomical structure of his mouth. I just looked outside and saw this tabby walking through the yard. I don't know if I've seen this one before or not. It's about 2 p.m. and I just came in the room to give Ditto a churro. Would you like a churro, Ditto? You want a churro? I want to see if you'll eat it out of my hand. Are you going to eat it out of my hand? Do you remember when you first came in this room on day 3, I gave you a churro? And you ate half of it out of my hand. Then you ate the other half out of a plate. So let's see if you made any progress with that. Let's see. You haven't had a churro out of my hand in a long time. I've been giving it to you on a plate. There you go. Would you like it? You want it? Yeah. Oh, it's on the floor. It's on the floor, Ditto. You gonna get it? You gonna get it off the floor? Here. You don't want it? You say no? You said no? The problem is he's so far back under there I can't reach him. I can't reach you, Ditto. I will get a plate. I'll go get a plate. Ditto, look. Here, you eat it out of here. Here, come here. There, put it on the plate. He says he expects his food on a proper plate. All right, Ditto. Have it your way. Here, you gonna eat it? It is 5:30 p.m. and I put the gates in the door to the recovery room, all three. 1, 2, 3. And I put the one with the bigger holes on the bottom so it's easier to see through it, because Boo was hanging out in the hallway by the door. He was just hanging out there, and I opened the door to see what was going on inside, and Ditto was right here. And I was like, what are you doing, Ditto? And he walked right up to the door, and obviously I shut it because I was like, you're not going out, but let's see what happens. He went under the day sofa. He's hanging out under the day sofa. Is he gonna freak out like he did the other day, where he wanted to jump out the window? Boo's at the door. Boo's looking at the gate. Hey, Boo. Hey, Boo. How you doing, Boo? You here to see Ditto? Do you know Ditto? Are you guys friends? Are you friends with Ditto? Huh? You just want to smell? You want to smell what's going on here? How you doing, Boo? How you doing, Boo? Boo says he'd really like his room back. He says he misses it. Oh, he sees the birds on the TV. There's birds on the TV. So I've been sitting in this room for probably around 45 minutes now, and Boo has been hanging out in the hall, just hanging out near the gate. He's very interested in what's going on. I think he has seen Ditto under the day sofa. Here's Ditto. So I sat down on the floor, and within a few minutes, Ditto went and sat by the windows, and he was meowing for a little bit. Not as bad as the other day, nowhere near as bad as the other day, but he was meowing a little bit. So I was like, oh, I wonder if he's meowing at Hydrox. So after about probably like 10 minutes, I got up and I looked out the window, and I didn't see Hydrox outside, but it spooked Ditto, so he went under the day sofa, and he's been under there since. I don't know if he could see Boo at the door or what, but I'm gonna leave now and let him just chill out. It is 7:30 p.m. and I just put a plate of food out for Ditto. Here he is. He just came out from under the day sofa. He was by the window. He was howling and crying and meowing for quite some time now. Hydrox was outside, so I believe he was meowing for Hydrox. He was also meowing because he's hungry. But when I come in, he stares at me and then he goes under the day sofa. And when I put the food down, this is his new thing. He rubs all up and down against the day sofa. And he's purring. You gonna eat your food, Ditto? How are you? You want a pat? That's what Splash does.
when I pet Splash, he makes those same movements. So his fur is feeling pretty rough right now. The other thing I wanted to point out is then that when cats go on a raw food diet, like Ditto has been since he's been inside, the vast majority, let's say 80% of what he's eating has been raw, it does change their coat. So that could be another reason why he's losing so much hair. Well, he has been grooming a lot, but they do say that when you put a cat on a raw food diet, they grow a thicker, fluffier coat. And if we look at the cats that live inside the house, they all have super thick, fluffy coats. Except Boo has his is super thick. It's not as fluffy as the others. But that's the first thing I learned when I went to a local pet store, and there happened to be a few reps from Lake Nature's Variety and Primal Raw there. The first thing they told me is to expect to notice a difference in the fur and the coat of the cats. Hey Ditto. Ditto's fur's feeling a bit rough, but he could be going through a transition phase with it. So the plan would be to let Ditto go back outside in a few days. Today's day 28, so ideally on day 30, I'd let him go back outside, and that way he could be with Hydrox and the two of them could be happy together. And then I have to disinfect this entire room and everything in it before I let any of the other cats in. Hello, Ditto. Just to be on the safe side with everything. And then I need to reorganize everything, because in order to clear out this room, I had to just kind of take stuff out, and there's stuff all over the house right now that was nicely organized previously. I also want to then reorganize like the cat food and the raw food, and make a whole bunch of raw food so that Ditto and Hydrox can have more of it. The issue when they're living outside is that they don't always eat it, and I don't like wasting it. I would need to come up with a new organized system of, okay, putting a little out to see if they're hungry, and then if they are, giving them more. The thing is, when they're outside, you have no idea what they're eating or where they're eating. Right, Ditto? I'm hoping Ditto stays closer to the yard or in the yard when he goes out, instead of running up and down the street and hunting in the woods. Because I know Ditto loves to go out hunting in the woods. Ditto, I'm going to sit down because I'm waiting for you to eat. Are you going to eat? Are you going to eat? Because I got a lot of other cats to feed. You're number one. Did you notice how well Ditto listens? He listens really well. And I've noticed that as I've been now editing these Ditto Day videos. So today is Ditto Day 28 as I'm filming this. But Ditto Day 3 is the video that I posted today. Is premiering tonight. So I've edited 3 of the Ditto Day videos so far, and as I'm editing the footage and reviewing it, I'm actually really surprised at how well Ditto listens to what I say. I didn't realize it at the time, as I was filming them, just because, there's a lot of variables involved at the time, and I was trying to notice everything. And when you're trying to notice everything, sometimes the littlest, most obvious things kind of slip by.
I'm hearing a really loud noise. I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. It almost sounds like someone's on a cat scratcher, but I don't know. So anyway, I guess I didn't realize it as I was filming the videos, but Ditto really does pay attention and he really does listen. He's a very smart cat. What I would really like to do in a few days is to construct some kind of like cat tower or staircase outside the window and just have him walk outside. I'd rather him walk outside than me have to put him in a carrier or a crate and bring him outside. I think it's better for him to go out on his own. Okay, so Ditto ate maybe like 2/3 of his food. I'm gonna go feed the other cats and then I'll be back with the rest of his meal. This was the first half of his dinner. So here he is hanging out by the windows and look at all of that cat hair on that towel. He's meowing at Hydrox. Look at all of this cat hair. There needs to be a lot of cleaning. I just gave Ditto some more food and he gave me a headbutt. And I mixed a little bit of canned food into this food right now. Ditto has a very good appetite. I just gave Hydrox some canned food. He had some chopped chicken a little while ago. I had some leftover chicken in the fridge and I want to use it up because, you know, it's going to go bad soon. So I put it in the food processor and I chopped it up really, really fine. And I gave him some of that and I just gave him some canned food. It's 10:34 p.m. and I just came in the room to give Ditto a snack. This is a little bit of Perfect Bistro rabbit recipe. It's a pate in a can. And here's Ditto. He's hanging out on the quilt under the day sofa. You wanna eat over there? Want a snack, Ditto? You had a very big dinner, so I don't know if you want a snack. And I don't really know if you like the rabbit. You could eat it. No one's bothering you. I'm gonna shut the light. I'm trying a video. I just saw this, so that is the cushion for this day sofa. And the sheet and the towels that are on top of it were lifted up and Ditto's been rubbing all against it, so it's just absolutely full of cat hair. You gonna eat the food, Dittos? Oh, he's purring. You gonna eat the food, Dittos? It's a snack. It's a snack. You want the snack? Here. Here, right here. You eat the snack. I just sat down in the chair across the room. I was curious to see if he would follow me over here. So he lets me pet him near food, but when he was sitting by the windows before and I wanted to pet him, like I approached him super slowly in a very non-threatening way, and he went under the day sofa. So he's still kind of very, very shy and fearful in certain situations, but I guess he's thanking me for the food, you know, when I give it to him before he eats. It's 10:45 and I just heard Ditto meowing, so I was like, what is he doing? It ends up, he was kind of hanging out by the door meowing, and I had given him some more canned food. I gave him some more of the rabbit. I mixed more water into it, so it's a little bit soupier for him, because that's really how he likes his food, because it's easiest on his mouth, and I'm happy he's eating it.
Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.